ready to get drunk with your boy. Everybody knows I like to indulge in a little bit of a whiskey ginger ale situation every now and then. So why not bring you 5 boozy, delicious fragrances that you need to get your nose on. Let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you on to some boozy deliciousness while we get intoxicated. Drink, please.
Sexy motherfucker. We're all alone. Yeah, that's friends from the south side. In case you cared, out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy. C to the U to the B to the A. Let's jump right into this list because I think it's a deliciously boozy list that you may need to get your schnoop on. So these are in no particular order. Now I'm going to start off with the 2 bottles that I don't have on hand because they're either tucked in somewhere or my wife stole them. This one is less likely that my wife stole and is definitely somewhere that I can't find. But it's an amazing fragrance by Unique Luxury, and this one's called Kute. I like to call this fragrance deliciously boozy, creamy, chocolatey caramel. Fucking amazing fragrance. A lovely, lovely, boozy, heavy whiskey-centric fragrance that is stellar. Fall and winter appropriate, although it can trickle into the springtime because it's sick. The thickness of the caramel feels like it's been whipped in some sort of luxury cocktail with some bourbon. This is something you get like at the Village or some really fancy pub that the dude is a retired mixologist and wants to impress the chick behind the bar to see if he can continue floating her free drinks and maybe get some butt at the end of the night. That's what I get from Kute. It's an amazing whiskey fragrance that really needs to get a little bit more love. The ones who know, and Kute should absolutely be on your list for delicious boozy one. Next one. This one is a newer acquisition and gives a little bit of a spin to whiskey. So if you want to get eclectic and you want to get all niche-y vibes and really separate yourself but have a little bit of a floral aspect to it, this is a fragrance that you might want to get your nose on, and this is by Savoir Faire, and that's the Whiskey Rose. It is a boozy rose fragrance. It has some dry aged wood barrel whiskey kind of remnants, as well as a beautiful rose note that isn't overly geriatric. It's really a nice pure smelling rose with a nice barrel aged like single malt Scotch whiskey. This also has some woody incensey vibes. I believe it's coming from that barrel aged whiskey smell that just has this little bit of dated and wet wood smell that gives it also an elegance and maturity in this fragrance. A beautiful rose whiskey combination that really sets apart from all these other fragrances on this list. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but absolutely one that you should try, especially if you're a rose fragrance lover. Then this one with the booze, fire. Next one. The next one my wife definitely stole because she does enjoy wearing this one, although she kind of fronts on it a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's okay or whatever. It's Killian's Vodka on the Rocks. Now, Vodka on the Rocks is a weird Killian fragrance because I don't remember, but I don't believe vodka is listed in the notes, but it's in the name. But if you smell it, this shit is boozy as fuck. It completely smells like vodka, although it has this kind of like airy, aldehydic, cardamom, sweet, woody smell. It also has this dry air of like fucking rubbing alcohol, the green bottle, not the white, and really does smell like you're gonna get a DUI coming out of a Russian gulag. This is kind of wild. So if you're not the whiskey lover, but you're still looking for those boozy aspects and want to stray away from the dark liquor because it makes you a little demonic, you might want to check out Vodka on the Rocks. Next one. Now the next fragrance is a Southern Belle in a bottle. Yes, I've actually had this drink before, and it's unusual because there's no purpose for any New Yorker to ever have tried this drink. But the fragrance is by imaginary authors, and this is Saint Julep. I look for any excuse to try a bourbon or whiskey cocktail, however it's created. This smells like a fucking Saint Julep 100%. Sweet, bourbony, minty, fresh, lively. It's not a heavy fragrance. It is actually kind of refreshing and kind of sweet, but really it's like a summertime bourbon drink that is like not gonna burn your fucking esophagus out. This completely smells like that. It smells like a boozy whiskey with a minty, sugary vibe. Beautiful fragrance. The way that they establish the notes in here to make it smell like a Saint Julep is absolutely epic. I mean, this is a super good interpretation of a Saint Julep. So if you haven't tried imaginary author Saint Julep, this would be an amazing boozy fragrance for the summer. Next one. I mean, if you don't have this fragrance in your collection by now, I don't want to talk to you. Unsubscribe to my channel immediately. Love this shit. This is Carolina Herrera CH Man Prive, aka the Flippy Top. I'ma say it. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. This is amazing. Lavender, boozy, cardamom, citrus, sexy, amazing. I love this. Does everything I wanted to do and more. It's so I'm gonna fuck myself right there. It smells so good. You must have tried this already. You definitely had to have tried this already. This is amazing. Cheap, good, sexy, no brainer. Next one. Honorable mentions! This is such a simple fragrance and it's so fucking good. But when you think of booze and smoking a cigar, there's nothing else that comes to mind but Initio's Side Effect. That's all it is. It's tobacco and rum. You're sitting in your backyard after barbecuing. The kids have been screaming all day. Your wife has been bitching because you haven't thrown away the garbage or picked up the socks from the floor. You're just done. You're having a nice chilled glass of Zacapa and smoking on a little cohiba. Listen, this is all this fragrance is. Booze and tobacco done well. There's a little vanilla essence in this, sweet, but it's all about the alcohol and cigar. This is one of their better fragrances in that lineup, and I've really grown to enjoy this fragrance more and more, particularly when it's chilly outside. If you want to smell something that's outstanding in the boozy realm, I think Initio's Side Effect, it's difficult for anyone not to mention this shit because it's that good. Just saying. And the last one I'm going to be mentioning 100% is in my wife's purse. It's either the Killian Vodka on the Rocks and this fragrance, which is by the House of Nasamato, and that's Baraonda. Baraonda is crazy. A little motherfucker that packs a big punch like me. It's all about the booze and alcohol. It's in that space of Kute or Kutai, however you want to call it. But they have their different nuances that really pronounce in each other. Like Baraonda, I just feel it's a little bit sharper. It's not as smooth as Kutai, but I feel it's a little bit extra boozy, and it just packs such a grenade of a powerhouse off of my skin that it's incredibly sexy. The way that it does when you fresh out the shower and your pores are wide open and you dare to spray Baraonda on, I feel like once the pores finally fucking contract, like it's holding onto that booze smell on your skin, making you smell so fucking masculine, you're like projecting Marlboro Man vibes. These are fragrances that I think are ridiculously sexy in the boozy realm. And I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know what is biggest in the game. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.